Hello, my dear students. So, this is chapter number 6, Newton laws of motion. So, this is the starting of this chapter. So, first of all, I introduce you the concept of force. What is force? So, all of you open your notebook and write first heading. That is force. What is force? So, what is force? What is the effect of force? What is the nature of the force? So, all of you write the heading force. So all of you write the force is an external effort in the form of a push or pull, which either changes, which either changes or tends to change the state of rest or the uniform motion of a body along a straight line along a straight line. Okay, so what is force? The force is an external effort. Force is an external effort in which form? Either a push or pull, which change the state of rest or the uniform motion of a body along a straight line. Okay, so the main category of force will be of two types. So all of you write center heading force. It is of two types. First is contact force and the other is non-contact force. First category is contact force and the second category is the non-contact force. Okay, so force is of two types. First contact and the other is non-contact. So in class 9th you already studied this type of forces. First is contact force and the other is non-contact force. Okay, so contact force type. What is contact force? The force which comes into play due to actual contact. If there are actual contact, we can write if there are actual contact, actual contact between the body, between the body. Okay, if there are actual contact between the body, then that force is called contact force. And in non-contact force, whenever there is no physically touch, without any physical touch, without any physical touch, they are called non-contact force. So contact force and non-contact force is clear to all of you. Contact force is what? If there are any actual contact, physical contact, and in non-contact there is no physical touch. Okay. Now the types of contact force are: first is frictional force, second tension force, third normal reaction force, fourth Force exerted by spring exerted by spring, and the last is force due to collision. Okay, so these are the five forces. And in non-contact force, the point is gravitational force. Second is the electrostatic force, and the third is the magnetic force. Okay, so force definition, force type, contact force type, non-contact force type, all points are clear to all of you. Is there any doubt? Then tell me. So I think force is clear to all of you. The types of contact force will be further studied in this chapter in detail. So there is no panic that I don't know what is frictional force, I don't know what is tension force. So don't panic. Okay. Now the next heading, that is inertia. What is inertia? So I erase all the things. So all of you write the next heading, that is concept of inertia. So what is inertia? The inherent property. The inherent property of all the objects. Of all the objects that they do not change, that they do not change their state of rest. Their state of rest or of uniform motion, or of uniform motion along a straight line path, along a straight line path, unless acted upon by an external force. By an external force is called inertia. It's called inertia. So what is inertia? The inherent property of all the objects that they do not change their state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line. So this property is called inertia. These are of three types. Inertia is are of three types. Okay, so in center you write inertia. Inertia is of three types. What is the types of inertia? So inertia is of three types. First is inertia of rest. Second is the inertia of motion, and the last one is the inertia of direction. Okay. So inertia is of three types. First is inertia of rest. Second, inertia of direction. Third is the second is the inertia of motion. Inertia of motion, and the last is the inertia of direction. Okay. So inertia property is clear to all of you. What is inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction? If a body is in rest, then its nature is not to change their state of rest. So at that time, the phenomena is called inertia of rest. So what is inertia of rest? It is the inability of a body not to change by itself its position of rest. So first of all, I introduce inertia of rest. So what is inertia of rest? That is the inability of a body not to change, not to change by itself its position of rest. Okay, its position of rest. So it is called inertia of rest. So inertia of rest is clear to all of you. The inability of a body not to change by itself its position of rest. So what is the example that is based on the inertia of rest? So write the heading examples. So first example is this: when a bus or train starts suddenly, comma, a passenger standing inside it leans backward, leans backward. Okay. So this example is clear to all of you. When a bus or a train starts suddenly, a passenger standing inside it leans backward because the upper body of the passenger is wants to take in state of rest. So they do not change simultaneously. So that's why if a train suddenly starts, passenger standing in it leans backward. Okay. Now the second property. Second example, not a property. When a hanging carpet is beaten with a stick, dust particles are cleaned. So there are some examples. When a hanging carpet is beaten with a stick, comma, dust particles are cleared. Dust particles are cleared. Full stop. Okay. So both the examples are clear to all of you. So like this, there are many examples that is based on the concept of inertia. Okay. Okay, students. So inertia of rest is clear. The rest one is inertia of motion and inertia of direction. It will be teach in the next lecture. Okay. Okay, students. Bye bye. Take care all of you.